Welcome to Kung Fu Average number 2. My name is James Williams Jr. Alright, so the following video is a martial art video that's going to piss off a fuck ton of martial artists. So, let me apologize to you all now. First for the word fuck ton of martial artists. And second, because I'm going to drop 99.9 and you're going to hate it, and that's okay. You are free to have your opinion. That's what the bottom comments are for. You are free to have those opinions, and since nobody's really watching my videos, I will be freely able to say what I want, no F's given. Alright, so let us begin with belts. This is what I feel about belts in martial arts. X marks the spot. Kiss it. Right there. Kiss it. So, if you are a martial artist, and you are not from China, Japan, Korea, the Philippines, or any other Asian country that I just missed, this is for you. If you are an American martial artist, this is for you in triplicate. In most Asian countries, belts were not a thing. Yay! Let's check that off. But in America, belts became a thing as soon as martial arts hit American soil because they needed to have some kind of regulation. You couldn't go around like in ancient China, Japan, or Korea, or the Philippines and challenge people to a fucking fight to see if you were better. You couldn't just go around petting your skills on people because in America, and I'm sad to say this because I'm American, we are fucking soft. Okay? Now, in secret, you could do that and get away with it, hopefully, even though in real life this is a crime, and if they do have secret battles, no one here on YouTube is videotaping it or posting it because, more or less, it's kind of illegal, and two, people can get seriously hurt going into dojos and challenging people, especially if you have some skills, but you go against someone who has more skills. Now, the reason why I said that, because 9 times out of 10, you gotta have some skills if you're gonna go into a dojo and challenge a sensei. You also have to be half-ass nuts. But who am I? I'm not the guy that's going to tell you to go do it. I'm damn sure not the guy that's going to tell you don't do it. I will tell you this though: be woman or man enough to deal with the consequences of what will happen. Because if you go in there and get your ass kicked, that's kind of your fault. If you go in there and beat somebody's ass and they press charges, again, that's kind of your fault. Even if y'all agree to it, someone's going to be a little sour about that shit. And that's just the way it is. But a belt, a martial art belt, is simple just like this belt. It goes with the uniform. It is made to hold your pants up. Or make your uniform look cool. In Kung Fu they did sashes. But in most other martial arts, when they got to America, they do belts. Right? And you start off with a white belt. And it depends on what school you're going to, because some schools have 7 degrees of each belt before you can move on to the next belt. When I was taking Taekwondo at the Inner Stairway, we had 7 degrees of each belt before you can go to the next belt. God rest his soul, Master Ennis couldn't stand me when it came to me doing katas. Because prior to Master Ennis's katas, when I took martial arts, I was never taught Tungu and whatever the hell the other one was. But I was never taught ice cream scoop, 2 punches, ice cream scoop, 2 punches, ice cream scoop, 2 punches, and then you're going around, and if someone had a camera above me, I would be making a star for Tosan and Tungu. That was the other name of it. Now, those were Taekwondo forms that he taught. Now, I don't know what forms are taught in other Taekwondo schools, because in Charlottesville, we had 3 Taekwondo schools, and I was kicked out of 2 of them. Never got a chance to be students in them, so I don't know if they taught Tosan and Tungu. And another thing about martial arts, and this is going to piss other martial artists off, but I'm going to tell the truth. No matter what style is tagged onto you, no matter what style you are trained under, all styles are related, all kicks are related, the names are just changed, and 9 times out of 10, the teacher will teach you his own variation of a style that was taught to him by someone else that was taught to them, and so on and so on and so on, all the way back to whatever lineage it came from. Now, I have no idea what lineage the Inner Stairway came from. My first free martial artist lessons were on a dojo on West Main Street, which once was the Murray Steaks building, which is now like a temporary job building or a furniture store. And I got taught karate for 3 years. So, from 7 to 10. And then from there, I practiced everything I learned until I started learning Kung Fu and learning Taekwondo. I started a little bit of Kung Fu from one of my sister's boyfriends. Whether this shit was legit or not, it was taught to me. Then I started learning Taekwondo from Master Ennis from the age of 17 to like 19. Couldn't get a belt. Couldn't do shit to get a belt because his belts were given to you by forms, and I couldn't do Form 1. Now, as I got my job at Kegler's, I was taught by a Green Beret how to fight as well. So everything I have learned either through a school or the hard way. And as of recent, the last two things I've done, which when I was in Bravo, we learned Taekwondo. However, I was mostly on profile, so they wouldn't really let me participate in the hard stuff. I got to watch it, but that was it. And then when I got to Delta, we learned Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Check on that because I totally suck at it. I have no ground game except for what I've learned from Kung Fu when you land on your back and how you can stop a person with certain crab-looking kicks and shit. Yeah, I call them crab-looking kicks because they look like, you remember how to walk like a crab. I'm not going to show you here, there's no room. But you know how to backpedal. I was taught how to kick doing that before I ever learned Taekwondo. And I learned that shit in freestyle karate. And a freestyle karate simply means just that. It's a freestyle of karate. There are no katas. There's no bullshit behind it. They will teach you how to work a bow staff, because that's how I learned how to work a bow staff. Everything else I've had to practice. I basically had to teach myself how to do nunchucks because no one would teach me. And once I learned how to get good at them, you can see some of my videos. I'm really good with certain weapons. Now, the thing about weapons is, I don't ever recommend you taking a weapon into a battle unless you're literally in the battlefield, like in ancient China or some shit like that. But you're never going to go back into that, so you don't have to worry about it. Weapons are good if you're in tournaments and you're training, and you're practicing weapon training, and you can do all the stuff. That's great. It's fine and dandy. But in real life, you're not going to walk down the street with a pair of nunchucks and get attacked. The putties aren't going to jump out of the air. You don't live in Japan. And they're not just going to flip through the air and read repulse and them are going to attack you. Although that would be the great reason for me to move to Japan because I would love to have a situation where that happens. Anyway, moving on. The thing with martial arts is that we don't tell everyone the full product of martial arts. A lot of martial arts are Ponzi schemes. A lot of martial arts are money scheming motherfuckers. You guys can go follow Rob on McDojos and help us get that documentary made for that. But the truth of the matter is that 9 times out of 10, most martial artists want to teach you martial arts because they legitimately want to teach you martial arts. There are some scam artists and some molesters and some other people that go out the way to fuck you up. And the thing about belts, because you thought I was off topic, didn't you? The thing about belts is, the more you want to learn is the more you want to earn, and the more you want to earn, the more you have to pay to play. Alright? Now I say that because when I was in the inner stairway, Mr. Ennis was really nice to me on my prices and everything, so let's get that out the way before anybody thinks that I'm trying to chalk him or say it was a McDojo when it wasn't. The thing about that was that I could not earn my belts no matter what I tried because my ass could not unlock what I was already taught to go back from ground zero to try and start again. And I wasn't taught katas. So I never got my 7th degree yellow, but I could beat yellow belts. I never got the green belt, but I could beat green belts. I never got to blue, orange, or brown, but I could beat them. And the reason that was because I was taught how to fight without katas. Alright? And to me, katas are just exercise. I'll be honest with you, they're just fucking exercise. This is not a kata. Boom, 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 boom. This is practice. This is a kata. Here, crane, snake. This is a kata. It is also practice, but it is more of a kata. Now, if I'm getting into a fight and I'm going to break into snake, and I go here, looks good for movies. But when I break into this thing, 20% of the fight's already lost because the person who's going to fight me is going to be in boxing. And he's going to be looking at me like I'm kind of nuts. And he's like, alright, this motherfucker knows some kind of martial art. So if he tries to kick, I'm going to kick. Here's the relevance of that. As a martial artist, if I see someone break into a boxing stance or standard fighting stance, I don't know what that fucker knows. I know what I know. And I know what I need to do to make sure that this asshat doesn't beat me. He doesn't know what I know as long as I don't break into something like that, because then I've given away him my arm range. And if I do the Tai Chi one where I kick my foot, then clap my hands, and then work around and do this thing again, he knows now that I know Kung Fu or some form of martial arts, and he's going to be looking for me to do kicks. He doesn't know if they're going to come high or low, but now he knows because I broke into a martial art fighting stance and given him away 20% of the fact that I know martial arts. The best way to disguise your martial arts in a fight is to just stay in a fighting stance, a normal fighting stance like you would see in a UFC. The second you break into crane or snake or tiger or dragon, this guy knows you got something in your arsenal. You don't want him to know that. It's just as simple. Why did I break into that? Because these are things that you have to learn about belts. Again, with the inner stairway, to get 7th degree green belt, I'd have to fight no one, but I'd have to do katas. And I may have had to break a brick. In all the years of martial arts that I have been learning, before I ever stepped foot into Mr. Ennis' dojo of the inner stairway, I was never told that I would have to break a brick. I was never told I would have to break a board. I was taught how to straight fight. Excuse me for burping. But I also, need a sip of this Gatorade. Because talking takes up a lot of energy. The thing you have to understand, that when it comes to belts, it's an American thing. It is an American thing whether you go to a Chinese dojo, a Japanese dojo, a Korean dojo, Filipino dojo. I'm not sure because I didn't know Filipinos had martial arts until recently. But for the 3 styles in the 3 countries that the martial arts I've learned come from, which is China, Japan, and Korea, those dojos required belts. Alright? I took a tiny bit of Aikido, just enough to recognize it, just enough to hopefully deflect it and be able to beat the person using it on me. I took a lot of Kempo. I took a lot of Taekwondo. I've never taken no JKD, but I can recognize it and I can fight it. I've taken a little bit of capoeira. I can recognize it and I can fight it. Can I beat it? Probably, but I can probably beat the person who's using it because I'm not going to sit here and follow the rules of engagement in a fight unless it's a sparring match. In a sparring match, I'm going to follow the rules because it's not a real fight. There's no belts exchanged in a sparring match. There's no belts exchanged in an actual fight. What is exchanged in an actual fight is a bloody, violent, good time. When I started taking martial arts in the military, we were only taught kicks and punches. When I started taking Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the military, where I was constantly not on the winning side, except for with the pugils, I was doing pretty good with the pugils because I know how to work a fucking bow staff. I know how to fight with a bow staff because I've been trained how to fight with a fucking bow staff from a young age. Pugil sticks, the same thing as a bow staff. Just gotta know how to block that bitch. It's not a hard concept to understand. Don't get hit with the other person's stick. Hit them with your stick. Block, 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 block. This can be a bow staff. Boom, 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 boom. Anything that I touch, I should be able to hurt you with because I am a true martial artist. And by hurt, I mean completely demolish or hurt you really bad so that you don't want to mess with me anymore. There are different levels of belts depending on your school. I'm only using Mr. Ennis school because every other school I've gone to, like the International Black Belt Center, I was trying to go make some movies. I wanted professional martial artists. They kicked me out. The Seven Tigers, when I left Mr. Ennis because I couldn't train for a black belt because he refused to train me because he said, you can't even get to a 7th degree yellow belt. And I don't understand how you can fight so well, but you can't do katas. And the more I explained to the late Mr. Ennis that I was never trained in katas, which is why I can't do katas, and a kata will never help me get a belt. But I also won't know if I'm good if you don't let me fight for the fucking belt. He's like, well, I'm sorry, we don't do that here. So I went to the 3 Emperors, and they were closing down, and they didn't do that. And the 3 Emperors were great. Seven Tigers, International Black Belt Center, they both told me that fighting for my belt was a form of violence that we did not teach in that school, and that there was no way in hell that you would be able to get a black belt from us. Get out. Now, the Seven Tigers was a lot more polite about how they escorted me out. You know, they didn't cuss me out or anything like that. But the International Black Belt Center, when they were over there by Taco Bell and now like that little jump spot in Pier 1, oh, they could not wait to get me out. And the master sensei at the time was an asshole who broke the first rule of martial arts, which is respect other martial artists and other people in general. He couldn't wait to throw me the fuck out. He told me to get the fuck out of his dojo, word for word, and don't ever come back, which I have never returned to the International Black Belt Center. Now, the thing was that they taught Taekwondo just like the Seven Tigers and just like the Three Emperors. Three Emperors were the only ones who were polite. But at the time, the master sensei there, he decided to shut the dojo down. I don't know why, and I didn't ask questions, but I couldn't get a black belt from there. And I really wanted a black belt. And in the 90s and in the 80s, black belts were the thing. And I was told by many of black belts that here is the following thing about having belts. To teach in any dojo, you have to have a first degree black belt. So that was my goal, to get a first degree black belt. And the way I was going to do that was to fight for that shit. That shit wasn't happening. To own a dojo or run a dojo of your own, you need to have a 5th degree black belt. Again, I have more recently learned that all that shit was bullshit. And that I didn't have to go through any of that. Had I known then what I know now, I would already have had a dojo. I would have set everything up. But I never knew that. Because I was told by black belts all over Charlottesville and 3/4 of Virginia, because I even went down to Dongs in Richmond, who also told me the same shit. You have to have a 5th degree black belt to teach a martial art. And I was like, well, does it matter what I teach once I have the black belt? It says, no, legally you have to teach what you have the black belt in. And then I was like, but there's no Kung Fu schools here. So how can I have a black belt in Kung Fu? How can I teach Kung Fu if there's no Kung Fu schools here? Because mostly I do Kung Fu. It's not traditional Wing Chun, but Wing Chun is in there. It's not traditional Kung Fu, but it's in there. It's not traditional Wushu. It's kind of a mix of all three. But I also have Taekwondo, and I also have Naharate, I also have Kempo, I also have Aikido, and I just blend all that shit together and use what works. However, I was under the impression that if I couldn't fight for my belt, I couldn't get a belt. And I was under the impression that if I could not earn a belt whatsoever, I could never open up a dojo. And so far, I've never opened up a dojo because all the things that I was told. As of recently, I have been told that everything that I was told from 1993 when I graduated high school and was really digging into trying to get back into Mr. Innes' school of the Inner Stairway before he went way of the samurai, that I never needed a black belt. That I could have just opened up a school and taught self-defense. Now, to be honest, from where I stand, and this is my opinion and only my opinion, there is no real difference between a martial art and self-defense. However, self-defense was that legal loophole that was explained to me that I could open up a self-defense school anywhere. Which I still don't find that credible because, now people tell you so many things and state laws are different from state to state on martial arts stuff. I mean, as a veteran of the military now, I'm like, well, damn. As long as they don't tell me to teach them Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I'm good. Because I suck at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Straight up and down. I'm not going to lie about that shit. I do not like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I suck at it. And why do I know that? Because when I was in Delta, except for the pugils and certain grappling techniques that I knew long before Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu even existed, I can't do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. When they set me up with a guy in the Army, he was always taller and stronger and heavier. And they kept telling me, you got to lock your arm, lock this arm, and you got to roll him and try to freaking use his foot. And then establish dominant, get side mount or full guard. And every time, if I got him off me, he just pushed me right back up off of him. When I got side mount, pushed me off of him. I had no weight to hold this fucker down. And that would prevent me from getting my head around the back of his neck to put him in a guard at all. So if I can't hold him down, how am I supposed to beat him? So, also when we trained, and he's a good sport, I give him his credit, because every time he set on me, and the minute the drill sergeants weren't looking, I headbutt him in the nuts. I headbutt him right in the nuts. I push his nuts right into my face, boom, and come up off of him and come from under him, and then I can get on my back with the rear neck and choke. Which was not what we were being taught, which made me do a few push-ups. Drill Sergeant Hayes, He remembers because he's like, yeah, you can't do that. That's not what we teach here. And you have to do everything by the Army's code of conduct. So yeah, I suck at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You cannot headbutt people in the nuts when they're on you and you can't roll them. Then I was telling the guy while we was training, I had to apologize for every time that I've hit him in the nuts. I said, in real life, if I'm on my back, 3 things have happened. I slipped and you got on top of me. I got knocked the fuck out and you're on top of me. Or you hit me one time and I dropped the fuck dead. So that being said, these belts and these schools, it's all Americanized to regulate your skill level. I have beaten black belts in sparring matches. I have beaten black belts in fights. So what does that mean? Does that mean the belts are equivalent to what your level is? Or does that mean we are all slaves to regulation? In a nutshell, it means we are all slaves to regulation. Because a black belt gives you rank in the dojo. A black belt gives you rank to the point where everybody believes the rumors until you lose. So you can have a black belt. Hell, you can be a champion, and you can still have a very bad day against someone like me, or someone like you who's watching, who's trained in martial arts all their life, and don't have a belt. So stay tuned for the second part to this video about why I don't like belts. Thank you.